Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is Friday, October the 12th, and this is the weekend market overview, looking at all the stuff that we look at every single night. And starting off with the Dow. The market just closed and it barely escaped being red once again. I know they've been talking on television, CNBC, oh, we're going to have 5 red days in a row, blah, blah, blah. And it was barely able to save itself. Beyond that, does this really show us anything? Well, we're still at this little area right here, bottom of the big green candle, which appears to be holding it. How about that? It did pierce down. It did pierce below this other secondary level, but no, not able to close below it, and that is what it is. Beyond that, we're still moving down in the 14-day RSI moving average. We have worked off topping area in the heat map, not really building a bottom in it yet, so the danger has not passed for the bulls. Still moving up on the CCI, just like last night. The stochastics continue to lose momentum. The fast now going sideways. Slight tick up on the RSI, down on the MACD, down on the MACD histogram. It sure looks like it is ready to turn, at least in the short term. But we just don't have anything that really tells us, okay, now is the moment. If anything, it tells us that we can have more continuation to the downside, but it just doesn't, feel right either. So I wish there was more of a tell, but there's not. Looking at the 60-minute time frame, we went sideways, so there shouldn't be anything that's massively changed since yesterday. I mean, moved down, moved back up. Really, it's not any different than the close of yesterday. We have more development begging for a bounce up, but no real change since yesterday. Going on to SPX. SPX was red. How about that? And did it do anything substantial? Not really. We got to this area right here, and that's exactly where it closed. We talked about getting a catch, twice, and that is what happened. But yeah, there's not too much to say here. It looks like it's at a good place where it could have a quick secondary correction, but there's nothing that says, hey, this needs to happen right now. So, unfortunately, I have to wait till Monday, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Looking at the VIX, had a decent day, working its way further into the long-term moving average bar, causing more damage to it, but unable to close outside of it. Beyond that, what can you say? It's pretty darn choppy. So, is there anything really that we can glom onto? Not really. I mean, the stochastics, the fast is starting to turn. Very much a push-pull. There's just not too much to do with this at the moment. TNA, small caps. Now there are some difference. It actually did go down, and did it fill all of this? 41. It's 10 cents off. There's a 10-cent gap. Oh, no, there's not, because it came down intraday. Okay, so this gap is complete on the VIX, and there's shouldn't be too much of anything that needs to do. You can see also it's getting to the high of this previous area. It kind of matches up with that. But nonetheless, there should be some kind of support, and that's exactly where it's coming into. Is this ready for a bounce? Well, everything's pretty darn choppy. We don't have anything that tells us at this moment it needs to turn. So, sorry. There just isn't anything there really useful besides possibly getting to a previous level. That actually comes all the way back here as well. And it touched it and backed away. So, a place that could be a floor, we just don't have indication that it's starting to turn because it is a floor. Bummer. Nothing in the heat map. What can you say? UUP, the dollar. Another gap down and a move up throughout the day. Very interesting. How does this one look? I mean, I was kind of hoping that it would pop up from the beginning. It did. It just started in the wrong place. Beyond that, we have a move down in the MACD histogram, move down in the RSI, move down in the CCI, move down in the fast stochastic, and the MACD and the 14-day RSI moving average still moving up. This one looks pretty darn suspect to me, but it's not the end of the world. We talked about last night having a higher low. Still have plenty of room for a higher low. So if it wants to keep doing this number, that's fine. Could sustain it for another day, maybe two, before it is really in trouble. But overall, it does look like it at least wants to go down a little bit more. And CompQ, the NASDAQ, yeah, a little bit lower, but still closing right at this previous, what should be support. So we don't really get anything from that. We don't have a break. Even the bottom of its tail still matches up with the lowest point of the previous support. Beyond that, we do have the CCI and the RSI rising. Everything else is still pointing down. This one is a little bit better than the Dow and SPX and TNA, saying that now is the time for it to at least attempt a bump up. Very interesting. And moving on to Apple. Look at that. Doji star. And unable to break the current previous low. We have a tick up in the MACD histogram. Had that a couple days ago too, but once again it has happened. Either it's just being choppy, or that's a tell that it's time for it to get a bump. And beyond that, the RSI getting a tick up, and CCI going sideways, everything else still pointing down. But overall, yeah, this is very questionable. Of course, we don't have an uptick as of yet, but I don't think it'll be long. And look at the range on the short-term moving averages. The moment we get an uptick, it's going to be pretty darn good. It's going to take it up to, 650 roundabout. Nice 20-point jump. So that all by itself would definitely help the market. We just don't have the absolute tell yet. Bottoming area in the heat map, so we know that we're close. And GE, trying to get a better read on the Dow. I mean, yeah, it was red, didn't really go anywhere today. Didn't break the recent low, didn't pierce the recent low. We have the fast stochastic moving up along with the RSI. Everything else still pointing down, so it is still more weak than positive. Still think there's a really good shot that it will get to the major price consensus level before it bounces, but still, there are a few little caveats that I have to point out. I wish there was more development. It just wasn't a day that gave us any answers. And going on to JP Morgan, they beat their earnings. We said last night, kind of worried about this since it had run up, and everything was the most important indicators were all pointing down. And sure enough, it sold on the news. Not the end of the world. Spinning top, got a downtick today, resolved it intraday. Means we have to see what it wants to do next. It is a mystery. But overall, now everything pointing down, it is in great alignment for a decline. Great alignment. And XLF, we said last night this one was not as good as JP Morgan and was actually in trouble, said that it was bearish, and sure enough, today, moving on down, getting a downtick, resolving it intraday. We have to see what it wants to do next, but just like JP Morgan, fantastic alignment for further movement down. Not good for the overall market, which is something that would say that the area that we expect things to possibly get caught would actually get broken, and that would be a very, very bad sign. So I guess we'll have to see what happens next. But so one hand, area that could be caught, and on the other hand, financials saying nope, we're probably going to go down some more, in which case that catch area is going to break. Ouch. And what else is there? USO oil. Yeah, see, this finally did what it should be doing. Overall, the market's red. Oil is red, spinning top. That all looks right. We have the fast stochastic already crapping out on its ascent, along with the CCI. And we still have up on the MACD histogram, RSI, but still, this is not a good sign. Not a good sign for oil. And if we do get a decline, and we're at the long-term moving averages, we can see how much trouble it has in the past with that. We're at a great point for it to turn once again and join the 14-day at the bottom before it can actually make a proper ascent. So, very questionable. We don't have a perfect tell, but certainly doesn't look encouraging. And GLD. Able to break its previous low. Excellent. Beyond that, everything is moving down. Even the RSI, which had held off yesterday, everything moving down. But we aren't far away from the long-term moving average bar. If we get there and turn around, we still have potentially a higher low. So, is this a big problem for the market, even if it continues to go down? At this moment, no, it is not. So, what else can I look at? I guess that's it. I hope to do a Vegas baby this weekend. That's a very interesting area of the market at the moment, one that I'm having a lot of fun with. But hope you have a nice weekend. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you very much.